I am a product and a survival of children and the generation that were starved to death. And I am very, very angry. I'm very, very angry. Instead of that we cannot get this Biafra, I will turn to a beast. I will turn to a beast. I will become a beast. You see those children that you see, you count their ribs, and their stomach are big. You see their stomachs running up every day. We came from them. This generation of Biafra, we come from them. We come from their survivors. And you know, I will be a beast. I will be a beast for Biafra to come. It doesn't matter what you think about it, but I'm telling you now today that 20 pounds, we are the product, the end product of 20 pounds each. We are the end product of Kwashoko. We came from Kwashoko. Malnutrition, starvation, genocide. But our grandchildren, our grandfather, our fathers, they survived it. They survived it.
Did you hear that? He said we are the product of 20 pounds. We are the product of 20 pounds. Look at it here. Look at it. This is not a joke. In fact, I'm going to show you from the website so that we can read it together. Because when you see it like this on your screen, some of you may think it's a Photoshop. Because on a fiaro, acquire Photoshop. You can see this is your news in 1971 after abandoned property. New decree, I want us to read together before we go to the website. New decree freezes all bank deposits in East states. This is what happened to Biafrans, irrespective of your millions in the bank. At the end of the war, each family, not each person, each family was given 20 pounds for your survival. This is our history. This is who we are. So I want us to go straight and read it from websites that you may understand that this is never a Photoshop. Some of the doubting Thomases may say, na Biafra thing, na we do. No, this is our history. It is good that we dig deeper since we are approaching the 2nd of December. Since we are approaching the redeclaration of Biafra on 2nd of December 2024, it is good that we refresh our memories and, of course, go back to our history in order to remind us who we are and how we survived the brutal genocidal war against the Biafran people carried out by Nigeria federal government led by Yakubu Gowon. I want this very broadcast today to be saved. It has to be saved. Do not trust the platforms we are using. Those of you who are following us, save this very broadcast today for future purposes. Now, let's listen to the Prime Minister once again, and then I'll take you to the website.
I will be a beast. I will be a beast for Biafra to come. It doesn't matter what you think about it, but I'm telling you now today that 20 pounds, we are the product, the end product of 20 pounds each. We are the end product of Kwashoko. We came from Kwashoko. Malnutrition, starvation, genocide. But our grandchildren, our grandfather, our fathers, they survived it.
We are the end product of 20 pounds. Each family, not even each person, each family. We haven't even talked about the genocide, which he talked about. We are not talking about the Kwachokos, malnutrition. We are not talking about them. Right now, we are talking about how we survived 20 pounds each family. which you are seeing on the screen. Now, let us see and read together from the website, so that you don't say, this is Photoshop. Biafra people, they have come with their propaganda. No, look at it here. Furthermore, General Gowon initiated the 3 Hours program after the war, but covertly set out policies aimed at extracting war indemnity from the vanquished. War indemnity from the vanquished. Who were the vanquished? The Biafran people. Now, this includes, pay attention, the obnoxious banking decree of 1970. The decree froze all bank deposits in the eastern states during war years. Are you paying attention, my people? Are you paying attention? Let me read that again. The obnoxious banking decree of 1970. The decree froze all bank deposits in the eastern states during war years. I don't know how to explain it, but let me continue. The Igbo were made to collect only 20 pounds, not minding the amount deposited hitherto and tabellium. I don't know if anybody is listening to me. The Igbo were made to collect only 20 pounds, not minding the amount deposited hitherto and tabellium. A similar decree was the indigenization decree of 1972, which robbed the Igbo of greater opportunity. The case was so with the ban on second-hand clothing and stockfish. Listen, the case was so with the ban on second-hand clothing and stockfish, an enterprise that was mainly dominated by the Igbo. An enterprise that was mainly dominated by the Igbo people. Yet, the Gowon government justified the ban as a means to encourage local textile industries and to maintain the pride of the country. And the ban on stockfish will not be lifted because the fish in Nigeria has more nutritious value and the government must conserve her foreign exchange earnings. Did you get that? The fish in Nigeria has more nutritious value and the government must conserve her foreign exchange earnings. So they say that the fish in the zoo has more nutritious value. In other words, the Atlantic Ocean that passed through the Eastern Zoological Republic as at then, which is the coastal region of Biafra as it stands today, is different from the Atlantic Ocean that passed through the other countries down to the southern part of Africa. That is what they are telling us. That's why the fish in this same ocean that pass almost throughout the world is different and more nutritious than others. Only to put an Igbo man down. Only to put a Biafran man in perpetual slavery, that you may never rise again. They never knew that the reverse is always the case. Now they said here, the gradual destruction of the Igbo technological ingenuity after the war was another policy the Gowon-led government adopted to subjugate the Igbo. To subjugate the Igbo. Remember, no be me write this thing that I'm reading. Okay? It is written by an African and international journalist and media platform. Not me. They continued, recall that the necessities of the war had pushed the Igbo into indigenous technological innovations and development. There were local refineries, distilleries, arms production, and research development which culminated with innovations like Ogbunigwe, rockets, explosive, mortars, anti-tank weapons, anti-aircraft guns, landmines, and others. This technological transformation was not encouraged by the government after the war. Was not encouraged by the government after the war. Rather, they were submerged. They were submerged. They were submerged. I want every Biafran to pay attention to this. Rather, they were submerged. Gowon's policies after the war were undoubtedly the last nail in the coffin of Igbo technological potential. Have you seen the reason why we must exit the zoo? Because they will never, you see this, There's a way Fulanis do their things. You must understand. Fulanis are not like, the Biafran people or other, educated, tribes. They are these people that have one dimension. They follow the laid down rules and roads that were followed by their ancestors. That is Fulani for you. That's why till today, they are still believing in the promises of Uthman Danfodio that somehow they are going to conquer the entire Zoological Republic, conquer Biafra land, and dip their Quran in Atlantic Ocean. That's why they are still believing that nonsense till today, even till tomorrow. That's why you still have what is called jihadists today. They will go to the village and massacre people, chase the remaining ones away, and occupy their village and their ancestral homes. That's why you still see those things today. Because Fulanis are a one-dimensional tribe. They follow the laid down rules and regulations and the roads being followed by their ancestors. They don't change. They don't have this mentality of civilization that, people can come up and change some old and archaic, methodology and way of life. They don't believe those things. They don't believe it. So since these rules have been made right from then, they still believe in it. If I read further, you will see a place where they said, because of the loss of the war, the North has made it impossible for an Igbo man to rule or to have power in Nigeria again. If I read further, maybe during my live broadcast, I'm going to do this. I will read the whole story. And since then, the Fulani, the Northerners, will do everything humanly possible to make sure that an Igbo man never rule Nigeria. The one that happened in 2023 is a case study. P2B is a case study. Because of what? They are following the same laid down orders, rules, and regulation that was laid by their, forefathers. After the war, they said they will never allow Igbo man to rule Nigeria again, to smell power again. It's here. It is here. They actually said it. But because this is very long, I cannot be able to read all of it. In conclusion, let us touch this place in conclusion. I was in a meeting sometime in the past with Biafrans. I think that was in one of the fundraisings. And a Biafran elder was speaking. As he was talking, he began to appeal to our people in the coastal region to come out and support the Biafra liberation. And then he began to, appeal to them in a way of apologizing to them, asking them not to be angry anymore on the Igbo people. And he said that Igbo soldiers during the war buried their brothers. And that is why they are angry with us. And I have to correct him, because even though I am not an elder, I still have experience about what happened during the war, because I read the history. And my father and my mother told me every single thing that I needed to know about the war, because they fought the war. They saw the war. Right? Now, I told him that it's a lie, that Igbo soldiers never buried our people in the coastal region. It was a propaganda. It was a propaganda being carried out by the Zoo media in conjunction with Britain, in order to discredit us, in order to make them change their mind and stop supporting Biafra. And those who knew about this, those who were in that same meeting that very day, please, if you hear this very news, let me know in the comment section. Now let us read here. It says, inasmuch as Biafra had few foreign supports when compared to Nigeria, the latter had embarked on international propaganda to deride the efforts of few foreign support the former had established. Gowon government accused Tanzania of supplying arms and training guerrilla fighters for the Biafra region to carry out subversive activities in Nigeria, and that most of Ojukwu's emissaries traveled with Tanzania passports. Now pay attention. Similarly, war propaganda had it that France also supplied arms to Biafra through a body called Biafra Historical Research Association. Similarly, this is all propaganda. France never supplied arms to Biafra, although France verbally supported Biafra, but they never supplied arms to Biafra. Now, Mr. Norris, pay attention, we have gotten to that level. Mr. Norris of the London Times publication alleged that about 200 Ibibios were murdered in a barbaric way on April 2nd, 1968 by the rebels in front of a hotel at Umuahia on the suspicion that they were collaborating with the advancing federal troops. Despite these challenges faced by the Biafra, the new state had demonstrated uncommon innovations, military tactfulness, technological inventions, including rockets, anti-tanks and Obunigwe, etc., and scientific ingenuity. Such military ingenuity and strategy were critically exemplified at the Abagana battle in 1968, where the federal troops, led by Colonel Murtala Mohammed, with 96 vehicles of supplies and troops, that the Biafrans stood no chance of survival. No chance of survival. However, with the aid of locally made military hardware such as Obunigwe, Major Jonathan Uchendo was able to ambush the Nigeria Amanda and deal a devastating blow to it. Hence, the Nigeria disaster at Abagana replenished Biafrans' already depleted supplies and ammunition. You get that? So now, this is the word that I want you to pick. The word that I want you to pick is here. Mr. Norris of the London Times publication alleged that about 200 Ibibios were murdered in a barbaric way on 2nd April 1968. And remember, it says here, look at here, it called it war propaganda. Have you seen it? So we cannot forget. Every single thing that happened for a reason that we today may have more reason and anger to fight against those that murdered our parents between 1967 to 1970. And of course, at the end, be free from this bondage. Thank you, my people. To salo numozia and make it go viral.
And those in Imo State, those in Anambra, those in Enugu State, some of them are planning, thinking that they are going to capture Simon Ekpa, extraordinary rendition Simon Ekpa to Nigeria. I will be their end. The way you are targeting Simon Ekpa is the way Simon Ekpa is targeting you. From tonight, there is no step you take I am not aware of. I am waiting for you to make a move. But know this fact. I am more closer to you than you can ever be to me. Those looking for Simon Ekpa to kidnap, my word to you this evening is that I am more closer to you than you will ever be to me. You will understand that in a matter of days.